Hello, and welcome to episode 2 of Crashscape. I'm your host, Nuke6. On an episode, we're going to explore the legendary OS, NeXTstep, and we're going to play a little Doom, as we do. It is a windy day outside. Tree branches are snapping and falling to the ground. It's pretty crazy. It's nice and cozy in here, though. Yeah, so sit back, relax, and get ready for some computing history. Yeah, that's what it is. So, a little bit about NeXTstep. It was actually created by Steve Jobs. Oh, let me make this full screen for you. There we go. So NeXTstep was created by Steve Jobs after he got fired from Apple for various reasons. It's another video. Apple wasn't doing too well after he left. So over time, they had to hire him back. He was just a really creative guy. What can I say? And they saw the operating system he was making, and they really needed it for their computers. So this ended up becoming the main operating system for Apple. I mean, this evolved slowly but surely into what we know today as OS X. So pretty cool. Not only that, John Carmack and idSoftware actually developed the game Doom on this operating system. The World Wide Web was created on this operating system. So this is a pretty big deal when it comes to the history of computing and OSs. We're going to go through the desktop and a little bit about the history of this this amazing, what do you want to call it? Yeah, just a desktop environment. All right, let's get started. First things first, the next button here. If you are coming from the Windows side of things, this is kind of like the start button. You know, it opens up your menu for all your tools and settings and whatnot. Look at the info panel. There we go. Workspace Manager. We're currently testing out the 3.3 version. The person, thank you to the person who made this image, this VM. He maxed it out to make it nice and fast, which is good. In the file viewer, it was kind of like Explorer, where you could see all your folders and files. Pretty interesting stuff here. As you can see, that's me as in our folder, and then you could kind of look around. And as you can see, there is a Doom app. We'll get into that shortly. Let's hide this for now. Something cool here. This is the emailing client for NeXTstep, and the default message is actually from Steve Jobs. How cool is that, right? It's dated here in 94, but in earlier versions it was even older. It says here, welcome to the world of objects. Using NeXTstep Advanced Object Technology, you can develop powerful, easy-to-use client-server business applications very rapidly and easily integrate them with your productivity and legacy software. So it goes on from there. It even gives a suggestions email. I'm sure that's not valid anymore. product_suggestions@next.com. Anyway, I believe the object was in reference to the way the system was programmed. And there you go, signed by Steve Jobs. Pretty cool. Good, history of computing here. Let's take a look at the time. Yeah, this is localization preferences. Unfortunately, we're forever stuck in 1994 here because of a bug. It's a pretty old system, and it's going to take too much time to fix. So we can just leave it. It's fine. It's not affecting anything. Let's hide out of that. Let's before we get into any of the other features of the operating system, let's play some video games, huh? Let's play Doom, made by idSoftware, John Carmack, and there's the info tab here. Let's see. There you go. And here are the OG idSoftware employees, John Carmack, John Romero. I see here Dave Taylor, Adrian Carmack, Kevin Cloud, Sandy Peterson, Jay Wilbur, Sean Green, I'm sure more. Let's go down a little here. You could pause this and take a look if you want. Oh, strafe mode is C. All right, that's good to know. So this is a long document. Let's make the window a little bigger. Unfortunately, there's no sound and it's a little small, but we'll make do. Let's hide this window. Doom was very important to the history of video games. It was one of the first amazing first-person shooters. It was pretty early in the development of gaming. There wasn't even really proper mouse look. It was all on keyboard. So you're just using the arrow keys. It said C. Okay, that's good. That means I can move out of the way of things. Hold down C and an arrow key, I can move sideways. That's good. X is to open doors, and spacebar is to shoot. There we go. All right, let's have 100% kills and 100% secrets. Let's do it quick. Let's get the armor here. Just to give you an example of how amazing this game is. In newer versions, there's a button, I believe, that's here that leads you to the outside, but this is the older version, so we're going to have to get out there a different way. There you go. That's the pool. Open the door here, kill these guys. There we go, get some stuff. That's a dead Marine, dead Space Marine. Look at all these screens here. And kill this guy. Whoa, where was C? Oh, it got me. Let's try this again. There we go. There we go. All right. So there's a little secret here. This panel, that's a different color, the wall. Get some life, get some shotgun shells, but there's no shotgun in the first level. Yes, there is. It's in a hidden spot. Let's go check that out. Even to this day, this game is so fun. It's fun than most new games, to be honest with you. All right, so we got to actually hit it, go a certain depth in this room, avoiding the bad guys so that this wall will come down. I'll show you. Whoa. And he's killing me. Whoa. Run around him. This guy, man. There we go. Now we got a shotgun and some life. Let's go destroy this guy here. There we go. So there's actually a secret within a secret here. I love this zigzag bridge. Looks so nice. So cool. There wasn't any lighting as we know it back then, so they had to put textures of lighting to make it seem like it was glowing. Really cool stuff. Later on, maybe we'll play an actual upgrade to the game that shows more lighting like that. All right, we gotta gather up some speed to get to the elevator inside that room. Or the lift. Made it. There we go. Get some more shotgun shells. And I think this is where the guy was shooting me from before. The imp. Nice little viewpoint here. You can see outside and the bridge with the nuclear waste. Very nice. All right. Let's go beat the level. Boom. 100% kills. Don't worry about the items. 100% secrets, nice. All right. Ooh, that's kind of long. Anyway, let's exit out of here. All right. Yeah, so that was Doom. I mean, one of the most important games in his computing history, I think, right? And we'll get to more. There's still more Doom to talk about after this. Don't worry about that. I mean, if you think about it, you know, I mean, if there was, I mean, you could, if there was no NeXTstep operating system, there would be no OS X as we know it today. Maybe, I mean, the web and Doom were made on NeXTstep, so maybe it would have been different if they'd used other operating systems. How would we be surfing the net today? How would the evolution of that path go? For example, if there was no Doom, there would be no Quake. If there was no Quake, there would be no Half-Life. If there was no Half-Life, if Half-Life wasn't a success, there would probably be no Steam, and who knows what the technological landscape would be today, you know? Anyway, moving along. But also the World Wide Web was created on this operating system as well. This pretty much affects how we use the internet today with web pages and whatnot. Here's an example of that I'll show you. We have the OmniWeb browser with its default page. There's the beach ball that is still in macOS today, the loading icon. Yeah, and this is a lot. This is the way web pages used to look back in the day. It was the pictures when pictures came around were very low quality because you know, the internet was very slow, so you needed kind of small pictures to load quick, right? So it almost looks like 8 or 16-bit pictures, maybe it was, or 32-bit. So as you can see here, this is the home page. I'm not connected to the internet right now because Next does not support DHCP, so we don't get a IP address automatically from our router. I would have to make it, I'd have to give it a static IP address within the range of our router and a lot more setup. So that's another video unto itself. So in any case, I think we should just take a look at, you know, what we got here, what's already in the system. And yeah, I like that badge. I'm gonna use that. This is how the internet looked for a very long time before it became app and video and multimedia centric, you know. And there you go. If we try to go anywhere, it says, oh, we can't get to it because we're not connected. All right. Let's exit out of here. We got the word processor here. Word 111. So yeah, I mean, it works like a regular word processor, little primitive, but sometimes it's a good thing. In the AI hellscape we're in today, maybe sometimes it's better to use a retro computer. Okay, so let me save this. Word document, file, save. We'll save it in the me folder, and we'll call it work. All right, so we saved it. We'll quit out. So the cool thing is, because this is a variant of BSD UNIX, I mean, everything is modeled on Unix. Even Linus Torvald, who created Linux, modeled his operating system off of Unix and Minix. So, I mean, even down to the point where the commands are almost the same and the way the system works are almost the same. Like, for example, we're on the command prompt here in a terminal. This is using the CSH, I believe that stands for cache shell. If we do the command ls, just like Linux, it's a list command that shows all the folders and files in our directory here. And we have some work files here, which we'll get to those shortly. If you want to see what folder you're in or what path you're in, you just have to do the command pwd, and it shows me that's the folder we're in. If you want to switch to a directory, let's say we want to go to apps, well, you have to type cd, stands for change directory, apps, and we're in, and we do the list command to show what's in that folder. Nothing. All right. To get back out, we do cd space ... which puts us back a directory in the directory tree, ls again. and we're back to where we were. If we want to go to the root directory to see everything that's on the computer, we do cd space / which is root, meaning the beginning of the tree, ls. And as you can see, this is the whole computer. So previously we were in the me directory, listing things and creating things, and now we're in the top of the directory tree, or bottom, I guess you could say. Let's go back into me, cd space me, change directory to me, ls, and there is actually a old text editor called VI that's you can still use to access things here, and even to this day there's even a version of it on Linux if you want to use it. This is a more primitive version, so let's check it out. So let's say I want to go back into that work file that I created earlier. We go VI work, and it's extension .rtf. As you can see, this is the file I made earlier. So this is like looking at it at a very low level. I mean, we're even seeing I don't know what you want to call it, scripting language that text files use to format things. Like you're even seeing the Helvetica font here. You're seeing like all kinds of other format settings. And this is what I actually typed earlier, right? So on a very low level, you're able to affect things here. The arrow keys are working now, but it looks like it's bracketed off. In the way VI works is you have to put I believe for input mode, and then you could type in this is VI. There we go. So we're able to make a text document, and if you want to exit out without saving, just to get out of it, you would actually hit exit to get out of input mode. Right? As you can see, it brackets it there. And you hit colon in this command mode here, and as you can see at the bottom, it shows a little like cursor kind of thing here, or what you want to do. If you hit the Q, which stands for quit, and an exclamation point, meaning quit right now, no matter what, hit enter, you're out of the program. See, I'm back in the command line, and I'm looking at all my files and folders. So as you can see, this is a pretty powerful little utility. You could pretty much change anything you want, do anything you want. And unfortunately, I'm not connected to the internet because this version of NeXTstep doesn't support DHCP, which automatically gets an IP address from my router. But I would have to. Anyway, we'll get into that later. So let's exit out of the command line here. Oh, and I think I missed. This is just like an address book here. No big deal. Let's quit out of that. So, this is pretty cool here. This is the original level editor of DooM that they used in-house to create DooM. So I thought this was lost media because there's been so many level editors made that I thought the original thing was just not released, but apparently was. It's called DoomEd. Let's take a look at the information panel here. It's pretty cool. You got the creator, you got John Carmack. You click on it, it's interactive. Of course, they're game developers, so they have to make this interactive. John Romero, the designer. That's okay. And a demon there that makes a little sound effect. Really cool. DooMEd, sorry. It's the cool thing about it is you could actually not only create your own levels, we could look at the levels that they created and kind of look at the finer nuances of why they did what they did. So the level we played earlier was E1M1, the first level. Let's take a look at that at the map angle here, shall we? So, where are we here? This looks like... Okay. Where is this? Well, we have... Oh, okay. I recognize the... Do you remember that bridge with the nuclear waste? That's where that is. Are we upside down or the other way around? This goes that way. I wonder if I get my bearings here. Well, I do recognize the bridge. Did we start here? Yeah, I guess so. This is the outside area, I believe, with the pool. That's the bridge. That's the secret. And I believe that is the... Oh, that looks like the end of the level, actually, where we went to pass the level. Interesting. I'll definitely sometime in the future, maybe another video, create a level using this editor. A little esoteric. It's a little old, so it's going to take some time for me to learn how to use this, but it doesn't seem too complicated. You got the things menu, lines. I'm guessing that's where you make walls and stuff. Textures. It doesn't seem too... Oh, there you go. That's the texture of a door. It doesn't seem too complicated. I'll have to look up how to use it sometime in the future. Cool stuff. All right. Yeah, and maybe we'll... Because when you think about it... Exit out of here. Open this up. Oh, is this still open? Oh. Every version of Doom is just a port of the NeXTstep version. That's the original one right there. Yeah, okay, so... Yeah, I mean, this is really cool that we could explore the past in this way through virtualization, emulation. I mean, there's a lot of things that are lost and we'll never know the history of. It's just so good that people have saved this. I mean, I even think about that in my personal life, you know, when I do photography and whatnot. Like, for example, after Steve Jobs died of cancer, you know, it was a big blow to the community because... You know, innovation kind of stood still for a while. They kind of went with the safe bets of the stuff he did that was successful, and they didn't kind of build onto that. It took a while for them to kind of break through, and I think up until pretty recently with the M1, M2, and 3 to 5 is really when they really started, you know, doing the right thing and giving people what they want and giving the speeds what they should be. Yeah, I mean, for example, I remember taking a picture, I believe it was the Eaton Center, I'll show you it here, at the mall after Jobs died, or it showed everybody doing sticking sticky notes to the glass of in the front of the Apple Store. If I remember correctly. This was 2011. I took this with a 1 megapixel camera. It could have been an iPod Touch I took it with, I'm not sure. Yeah, as you can see here are all the sticky notes. And that was definitely a moment to be remembered. Pretty interesting. I think when I took this picture, I was working at Best Buy, and on my way home would be a nightmare because rush hour on a downtown subway, in Toronto especially, in any big city, is terrible. So I would just kind of stay back 1 or 2 hours because I didn't want to cram into subway like a sardine. So I just kind of thought to myself, hey, why don't I just take some pictures and some video while I'm here? And that's when I really started getting into photography. So, you know, things happen for a reason. There we go. You know what? And, before we end this, I actually want to, because you saw the original version of Doom. I'm going to load up a kind of a newer version of the same level of Doom 1 just to see if you spot any differences. Let me exit out of here. There we go. Look at that. Beautiful. Turn on the flashlight. Okay. As you can see here, the lighting is way more realistic. RTX. This is the newer version that has that switch here, so you can see the outside. We'll get there another way. Red marine colored lighting. Very nice. Look at that light. Beautiful. Ah, fell right into the mucus. Nice. All right, let's trigger the wall. Oh. Shotgun. Oh, it didn't work? What the hell? Let's try this again. Got it. Just use a shotgun for light. Oh, they blocked off the window. I don't want to fall in. Nice. Beautiful. Oh, let's time the other playthrough. All right, I guess that'll be it with our look into the NeXTstep operating system. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it interesting, and more to come later.